So we've got the Africa Risk Capacity, which is a specialized agency of the African Union set up to help African governments improve their capacities to deal with climate risks and other natural disasters. The agency's team, led by its Chief Executive Officer, Lesley Ndlovu, touched down in Abuja, Nigeria on Tuesday for further engagements with parties in the countries. Lesley Ndlovu joins me now here at our Abuja studios for this exclusive live discussion. Great meeting with you again. It's good to have you here.
Good evening.
Thank you, my friend. It's good to have you back. Great. What's the latest from the ARC? Now you're in Nigeria. What's going on? Why are you in Nigeria this time?
So the visit to Nigeria is a follow-up to the visit that we had last year. Our mandate is to promote the use of insurance as a risk mitigation tool. As you pointed out in your introduction, we are seeing an increasing frequency and severity in weather-related disasters, and insurance is a tool to mitigate the impact of those disasters. Nigeria is for us a key strategic market, being the largest market in Africa from a population standpoint and also from an agricultural output standpoint. So we are here in Nigeria to deepen the collaboration that we have with our partners at the level of the government and also with the local insurance industry. And as always, I'm delighted to be here.
You're delighted to be here. There's about $100 million on the table for farmers. How much of this is coming to Nigerian farmers?
To take a step back, last year at COP26 in Glasgow in November, the developed countries pledged $100 billion per year to developing countries to help them deal with the impact of climate change. Included in this funding is a component for insurance. Again, insurance as a tool for helping countries build their resilience towards climate change. One of the barriers to the uptake of insurance has been the affordability of premiums, because the payment of insurance premiums by countries competes with other national priorities. So we have, at the African Risk Capacity, mobilized resources to the tune of $100 million, as you mentioned, to subsidize the payment of insurance premiums. This pool of money is available for all African countries, all our member states, including Nigeria. We haven't broken it down to an allocation by country, but Nigeria is a member state and qualifies to benefit from this funding.
In terms of engagement within the private sector in Nigeria, who are you speaking with, who are you meeting with, and where does the private sector come in here in terms of this public-private sector partnership that are needed to mitigate disaster risks, whether they are natural disasters or other form of disasters that farmers and those in agriculture are facing?
Yeah, that is an excellent question. Our approach in the Nigerian market for small and medium-scale farmers is to, in fact, work with the local insurance industry, because we do not want to recreate what already exists and works successfully in this country. Our value add to the local insurance industry is bringing in our technical expertise, because on the African continent, we have the longest running experience with parametric insurance for agriculture. Secondly, we also bring our substantial financial resources. We have one of the highest credit ratings on the African continent, so we can bring additional financial capacity to the market. Then we want to help the local insurance industry to scale up so that insurance is more accessible, is more available, and is more affordable to the small to medium scale farmers in the Nigerian market, which are really the backbone of agricultural output. So what we are doing is really linked to the national strategic priorities of the country, and we believe that in this collaborative spirit that we are demonstrating, we will be able to solve the problem. Bearing in mind that climate change is a generational challenge and requires really all hands on decks to be able to adequately address the problem.
Well, in terms of where we live right now, things are changing. We've had a conversation in 2020, 2021, virtually speaking, right, and it was all about COVID-19. Today, we're dealing with the Russian war in Ukraine, and there are pressure on Africa when it comes to fertilizer or wheat coming through because of Russia's position. Is that this development in Ukraine, is this something that the ARC is looking at very closely?
Absolutely, because in the African context, we are connected to the global ecosystem. So whatever happens externally has significant ramifications for us in Africa. If you look at specifically what is happening in Ukraine, I think it's going to manifest itself in two ways. Firstly, in terms of wheat production, Ukraine is a major wheat producer, and there's been significant disruption in that, which means that food prices are going to go up. And also in Africa, we're vulnerable now to the effect of a drought, because if there is another drought, then it's going to be difficult to secure food relief. The other effect, as you've already mentioned, is that Russia is a major exporter of fertilizer, and with the current sanctions, then fertilizer is going to be scarce in the market. And if you have inadequate rainfall without fertilizer, then the impact on crop yields is going to be doubly negative. So what we are working on within the African risk capacity is to ensure that we have a financial response mechanism that mitigates this compounding of risks.
Interesting how we're going to go from here. How would you help local markets grow in terms of risk retention, risk mitigation? Is there anything on the table?
Yeah, absolutely. So generally at the African risk capacity, we have a holistic approach. Insurance is only one of the solutions that we propose, but really the starting point is for African countries to better understand the risks that they face vis-a-vis natural disasters. Once that's achieved, then there is the conversation to be had in terms of which risks are retained by the government itself and which ones are transferred to the global financial markets via the mechanism of ARC. Our core value proposition through the parametric insurance product is that whenever a natural disaster happens, we pay claims within 10 business days, which means that governments have ready liquidity to be able to respond. And as you know, early response prevents what is already a bad situation from becoming significantly worse.
Interesting how things are going. I'm sure you're touching down in Lagos tomorrow. Now you're going to the home of the financial markets. I'm sure you're going to meet with some of the other guys on the ground.
Yes, absolutely. I will be meeting with my fellow leaders in the insurance industry as well as the reinsurance industry. I am also participating in a panel on sustainable insurance, because again, it will take our collective intellect, our collective energy to be able to create insurance solutions that speak to the needs of Africans.
We wish you all the best for this exclusive show. Enjoy Nigeria.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. That's Lesley Ndlovu, the CEO at Africa Risk Capacity Group.